General Hospital spoilers reveal that Josslyn did not kill Cyrus as everyone thought. The memories she has of that fateful night at the cabin are not true. They are merely a sophisticated illusion created by Jack Brennan to serve his purposes. From the beginning, everything was set up to make Josslyn believe she was the murderer, but in reality, someone else pulled the trigger, and Brennan was the one orchestrating the entire drama from the shadows. Brennan is not just a manipulator, he is a master at controlling other people's minds. He knew that if he made Josslyn believe she had killed Cyrus, she would become trapped in feelings of guilt and panic, making her an easily controllable pawn. By exploiting her disoriented mental state, Brennan could easily make her do anything he wanted. From the moment Josslyn pulled the trigger, Brennan was right outside, watching everything unfold. But the question remains, who really killed Cyrus? Did Brennan act from the outside, creating a situation to make Josslyn believe she was responsible for the death? Or was there someone else in the shadows, manipulating everything and turning Josslyn into an unconscious puppet? Right after the event, Brennan quickly removed any evidence that could prove Josslyn's innocence. He took her clothes, phone, jewelry, and forced her to stay silent. No one, not even Carly, knew what happened at the cabin. Josslyn was not only trapped in a murder she did not commit, but she was also pushed into a world of absolute control, where she no longer had the power to decide her own fate. Josslyn started feeling that something was off. She kept replaying that night, but the more she tried to focus, the more her memories became fuzzy. She remembered pulling the trigger, but couldn't recall other important details. She heard a gunshot, but wasn't sure if it was her shot. Questions kept flooding her mind. If she really shot Cyrus, why was there no direct evidence to prove it? Josslyn's confusion peaked when she tried to talk to Jason. She believed that if anyone could help her uncover the truth, it was him. But just when she needed him the most, Jason was called to the PCPD and accused of being involved in Cyrus' death. This only added to Josslyn's pressure. She not only had to stay silent about what happened, but now she had to witness the person she trusted most being dragged into a plot that she herself was the victim of. With mounting evidence, it seems someone is trying to frame Jason or Drew. The discovery of two hairs at the crime scene only deepens the suspicion. Could they really belong to Jason, or has Drew been pulled into this scheme? With Brennan targeting Josslyn, it seems he's trying to control her to cover up the truth. Another person possibly involved is Jen Sidwell. He and Drew have a clear motive to control Sonny's dock, and eliminating Jason would help them achieve their goal. But if Sidwell is truly involved, is he the one who actually killed Cyrus, or was it Brennan who did it to create a situation that benefited him? Brennan doesn't just want to control Josslyn, he wants to use her as a tool to achieve larger goals. He knows she can't keep quiet forever, but he also knows that she is in a state of panic so deep that she can't clearly find the truth. He could easily use this situation to turn her into an agent for the WSB, controlling her every move and forcing her to obey his orders. But Josslyn isn't an easily controlled puppet. She started asking questions, beginning to doubt her memories. If she really killed Cyrus, why was Brennan controlling everything so tightly? If everything were really as clear as he said, why couldn't she tell anyone? She knew she had to uncover the truth before it was too late. If she didn't act quickly, Brennan might continue manipulating her, turning her into a pawn in his plan. Carly may not know exactly what's going on, but she's no fool. She knows something is wrong with her daughter, and if she investigates deep enough, she will uncover the truth. But can she act fast enough to protect Josslyn before Brennan completely takes control of her? If Carly discovers that her new boyfriend has been manipulating her daughter, she won't sit idly by. Carly has fought to protect her loved ones before, and she won't hesitate to do it again. But Brennan isn't an easy enemy. He has a plan, power, and he's willing to do anything to ensure that Josslyn remains under his control. Josslyn is facing a difficult choice. Either she accepts what Brennan says and continues to be manipulated, or she stands up and finds the truth. But if she chooses to confront Brennan, can she defeat someone as dangerous as him? One thing is certain, Josslyn is not the killer, but if she doesn't uncover the truth soon, she might get caught in a conspiracy even more dangerous than Cyrus' death. And at that point, not only will she be at risk, but also everyone she loves. The question now isn't just who truly killed Cyrus, but also, who will save Josslyn from the trap that Brennan has set? Brennan doesn't just want to control Josslyn, he wants to turn her into an important piece of his long-term plan. He understands that Josslyn is Carly's biggest weakness, and if he can manipulate her, he will be able to control Carly more easily. This is not just a simple power game, it's a psychological war, where Brennan uses Josslyn as leverage to achieve his dark goals. Brennan has devised a perfect plan to pull Josslyn into the WSB, an organization she never intended to join. He continuously plants in her mind the idea that she has the potential to be a good agent, that she can accomplish more than she ever imagined. But in reality, this isn't about whether Josslyn has the ability or not, it's about Brennan wanting to control her, to put her in a position where he can easily manipulate her at will. Josslyn never intended to pursue a career in law enforcement. She was studying to become a doctor, with a clear future she had chosen for herself. But Brennan doesn't care about that. He only cares about making her a part of his game, using her as a tool to control others, especially Carly. After the cabin incident, where Josslyn believed she had killed Cyrus, Brennan used her fear and guilt to push her into a state of vulnerability. He took all the evidence that could prove her innocence, forced her to stay silent, and used that as leverage to make her dependent on him. Brennan is not just targeting Josslyn, he wants to use her to apply pressure on Carly. He knows that if he can control Josslyn, Carly will have no choice but to comply with his demands. And that means Brennan doesn't just want to manipulate Josslyn, he wants to use her as a tool to achieve even greater goals. Carly has faced many enemies before, but this time, she may be dealing with someone more dangerous than all the rest. Brennan is not just playing a simple game of violence, he is a sophisticated manipulator, skilled at controlling people through psychology and emotions. If Carly isn't careful, she might lose not only control of the situation but also her daughter. But Carly is not one to be easily threatened. She may sense a change in Josslyn's behavior, she may realize that something is wrong. And if she digs deep enough, she'll uncover the truth about Brennan before it's too late. Josslyn is no longer a naive girl, she has been through too much recently, from loss and guilt to schemes she never saw coming. But this time, she may be in real danger. If Brennan decides to take things to the next level, he could strip her of her freedom entirely. If Josslyn refuses to join the WSB, what will Brennan do next? Will he threaten her in some way? Or will he use Carly as a psychological hostage to force Josslyn to comply with his will? One thing is certain. If Josslyn doesn't find a way to escape Brennan's influence, she could be caught in an even bigger conspiracy than she ever imagined. And if that happens, not only she but also Carly, Jason, and everyone around her will be drawn into an unpredictable, dangerous spiral. The question now is, who can help Josslyn before she is fully controlled? Carly will certainly not let her daughter fall into Brennan's hands without a fight. Jason may also get involved, as he cannot stand to see Josslyn being used as a tool for dark purposes. But will they realize the plot in time before Brennan completes his plan? Josslyn is standing on the edge between freedom and manipulation. If she doesn't act quickly, she might lose everything. But if she can see through Brennan's plan and fight back, she could regain control of her life. One thing is certain, the storm is coming, and when it hits, no one will be able to avoid the consequences. A letter from Jax will be delivered to Josslyn, and this could completely change the course of her life. While Josslyn is trapped in Brennan's schemes, constantly facing control and manipulation, the letter from her father could be the first light to help her find a way out. But is this letter simply a message of encouragement, or does it contain secrets that could turn everything upside down? Josslyn hasn't been in touch with Jax for a long time. After leaving Port Charles, he left a big void in her life, but that doesn't mean he hasn't cared. When the letter arrives, Josslyn feels an odd sense. Why now? And more importantly, why did Jax send a letter instead of calling? When she opens the letter, the words inside immediately shake her. Jax doesn't just write about missing her or wanting to see her, but he gives clear warnings. He knows something is going on, that some force is controlling her, and that she must find a way to break free before it's too late. But how does Jax know about Brennan? Does he have information Josslyn doesn't? And more importantly, could this letter be his way of helping her uncover the truth behind everything happening? Before receiving this letter, Josslyn was confused about what was going on around her. She had started to suspect Brennan, feeling that something was wrong, but she didn't have enough proof to be sure she was being manipulated. But now, with what Jax wrote in the letter, she can no longer deny it. She is being controlled, and she must do something to get out. This is not just about fighting Brennan, it's about regaining her freedom. The letter from Jax might not be a detailed guide on how to escape this situation, but it's enough to make Josslyn realize that she cannot just sit back and let things continue. Her sense of being controlled becomes clearer when she realizes that Brennan might have tried to prevent her from receiving this letter. Maybe he knew Jax had sent something, and perhaps he tried to intervene to keep Josslyn under his control. But somehow, the letter reached her, and it could be her only chance to break free. Before, Josslyn simply tried to stay safe, doing whatever Brennan asked to avoid putting herself or Carly in danger. But now, she no longer wants to continue being a puppet in his game. Jax's letter is not only a reminder that she can escape, but also a motivation for her to realize that she has to fight to regain her life. But this raises a new problem. Brennan will not easily let Josslyn escape his control. If he suspects she's starting to act against him, he will likely increase the pressure, using more dangerous tactics to keep her under his thumb. And that's when the real battle begins. The letter from Jax could be Josslyn's wake-up call, but it could also set off a chain reaction, pulling Carly and Jason into the fight. Carly, even though she's being manipulated by Brennan, will never let her daughter get hurt. And Jason, who always sees Josslyn as part of the family, might be the one to help her expose Brennan before it's too late. If Carly discovers what's happening, if she realizes that Brennan is not only targeting Josslyn but also using her as a tool to control her, she will do anything to protect her daughter. And this could lead to a direct confrontation between Carly and Brennan, a battle that could change everything. Josslyn can't continue being controlled. Jax's letter has opened her eyes to the reality that she is being manipulated, and she has to figure out how to escape this spiral. But escaping doesn't mean running away. She might have to confront Brennan, gather evidence to expose him, or even team up with Carly and Jason to bring him to light. One thing is certain, Josslyn will no longer be Brennan's puppet. And if he's not careful, she might be the one to take him down, using what she learned from Jax's letter to turn the tables. Jax's letter may just be a letter, but what it contains could change everything. Josslyn is no longer just a victim, she is becoming the one to take control of her own story. But can she escape safely before Brennan makes his move? And if she chooses to fight, can she defeat him without putting the ones she loves at risk? One thing is for sure, this letter marks the beginning of a new chapter in Josslyn's life. And when the storm hits, who will be left standing when everything falls apart? Josslyn is about to enter a real battle with Brennan, a confrontation she can't avoid. She's been manipulated for too long, exploited, and pushed into a scheme she never asked for. But now, with the truth slowly being revealed, Josslyn knows she can't keep living under Brennan's control. She must fight, take back her freedom, and that means facing head-on the one who has deceived her all this time. Josslyn is no longer the naive girl caught in a game she didn't fully understand. She has started to see Brennan for what he really is. A manipulator who's been using her as a pawn to control those around her. But when she decides to stand up against him, she knows she can't do it alone. Carly, who always protects her daughter at all costs, will not let Josslyn fight alone. When Carly learns the truth about what Brennan has done to her daughter, from manipulating her mind, making her believe she's a murderer, to controlling every aspect of her life, Carly will do anything to protect Josslyn. Jason, who has always seen Josslyn as family, will also step in. He understands how dangerous Brennan is, realizing this is not just a political game or a personal plot, it's about Josslyn's safety, and he won't let her get hurt. Jason won't just help her escape Brennan's clutches, he'll also plan to take Brennan down once and for all. Sonny, with all that he has been through, won't sit by and let Brennan control Carly's daughter. Sonny has power, influence, and, most importantly, a reason to protect Josslyn from this enemy. But Brennan isn't easy to defeat. When he realizes that Josslyn has turned against him, that she's no longer an easy pawn to control, he won't sit idly by and let her slip away. He might unleash the secrets he's been holding, threaten Josslyn with information she doesn't want revealed. He might try to divide her from Carly, Jason, and Sunny, or attempt to manipulate her again. But this time, Josslyn is ready. She knows she can't let Brennan control her any longer. She has the support of her family, the people who love her, and she won't let him destroy her life again. This confrontation isn't just about Josslyn, it's about a bigger battle, a fight to reclaim control from Brennan, to destroy his plans before he can do any more damage. Carly, Jason, and Sunny won't let him continue to manipulate Josslyn, but Brennan isn't an easy adversary to defeat. Will they find a way to take him down before he can strike back? Or will Josslyn have to fight on her own, facing Brennan in a more dangerous battle than ever before? One thing is certain, Port Charles is about to witness one of the biggest battles, and when it's all over, no one can predict who will be left standing.